Today we're going to be doing some VLM and some commercial carpet in an office here. So Ray is starting out by vacuuming to remove any potential dry soil. So when you're VLMing, getting as much of the dry soil up is great. That way, when you're running your buffer, or if you have an Orbot like we're going to be using for agitation and soil absorption, you're not having your pad fling around loose debris. So vacuuming it first will help pick that up so you don't have that problem, because otherwise you're going to have to try and deal with it potentially a little wet, which makes it harder to pick up. So this room doesn't really have much of anything on the floor, but it's still good to just make sure you get what you can up so it doesn't cause problems. And this is also a little bit of a training video. Ray hasn't done any VLM yet, so I'm using this space for him to kind of get used to it. The Orbots are oscillating pad machines. They're very easy to use, but of course if you haven't used one before, it's just a little bit of an adjustment, but a very small learning curve. So they're great machines to have if you plan on doing commercial work. So now we're using a red pad for a little pre-agitation. This room hasn't been done in about 2 years. So if VLM isn't going to do the trick, we plan on hot water extracting it too. This is kind of a situation where I can easily go both routes and not worry about a client. This is actually our office, so that way Ray can get used to it. So it's going to be probably look a little sporadic because he's getting used to it. This is his first time running the machine. And like I said, these machines are super easy to maneuver and go around. So we're doing the red pad first for agitation, and we're using a encapsulation cleaning product. And then if it needs anything else, we're going to do hot water extraction. But after this pad, we're going to come back through and we're going to use a white absorption pad to pick up everything, because this red pad is just purely for agitation. But as you can see, even somebody that's never operated this machine can maneuver it easily with no problem. So that's the convenience of having an oscillating pad machine, whether it's the Orbot or another one. It makes it super easy. Your product is in the tank here and sprays out in front of you. So being able to utilize a machine like this, if you do a lot of commercial carpet, will actually make your job so much easier. And it will go a lot faster, because a lot of times VLM will do a fantastic job and we kind of determine which method we want to use based on the condition of the carpet. This room gets nearly half the amount or even less traffic than an actual commercial building where multiple people are in and out every day all the time. So VLM may be just the perfect solution for this, but we're still going to evaluate that afterwards, because like I said, it's been about 2.5, 3 years since this carpet's been really done. Because we're converting this into our office. It's not typically been used as such, so it hasn't really needed any attention till now, because it's such a minimal amount of traffic that's been on it in those years. So now we're using a white absorption pad and doing just a little bit of product, so that way it keeps the pad a little damp. So like I said, so this is the very first time he's operated this machine, and he's easily moving it around. So once you've used it a handful of times in each room, you'll start to get used to what's the most efficient way to do it, and you'll get it kind of figured out, and it'll get much easier for you. But as you can see, it's really no problem, and the learning curve is quite small. Since this carpet's not in very bad shape, it doesn't have to move incredibly slow, but in other situations where it is pretty bad, we would move a bit slower. But at the end, we'll take a look at what the pad looks like underneath, so you can see what it absorbed. Alright, so the room has been gone over, and that's what came off. So not horrible, since we only had to use one pad, but as you can see, this is what it does. It absorbs all the soil, and then with regular vacuuming, everything else will be picked up, because what it's doing is it's encapsulating the dirt. So regular vacuuming does help as well, and will help improve the results over time. But otherwise, this is a nice, cost-effective way to clean commercial carpet. This machine by itself, if I'm not mistaken, is somewhere around $3,500 currently at the time of this video. So between that and buying the pads and the encapsulation cleaner, you're probably going to be no more than about $3,750, maybe $3,800 in, and you'll be able to successfully go in and do a lot of commercial carpet. Obviously, you should have a vacuum too, to pre-vacuum and do the edges and stuff like that. But maybe for a total of $4,000, you can have a quality machine and go in and VLM carpets and be able to do commercial and have a very low overhead way of getting it done. Because with a hot water extraction machine, you're going to have to go out there, run a gas-powered machine, and it sometimes takes almost twice as long as VLM to do. And of course, you got to understand and figure out what the best course of action is for cleaning it. So if VLM is good for it, or if doing hot water extraction is needed. If it's really soiled and I have easy access into the building, water source and all that, then I will do hot water extraction first, and then the next visit I would do VLM. This is just my personal preference. You don't have to do it this way. VLM can do a great job, but I use it as my maintenance cleaning tool to keep their property up and keep them operating in a clean environment. So hopefully this helps somebody. If you have any questions, leave a comment below.